ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। We are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 13, verse number 32. So Sri Krishna is continuing to explain the process how to extricate the chitta from sense object from the chitta. So his essence of his reply is that we have to understand that the seer of all this is different from the seen, and one has to identify with Brahman if one is following Gyan Marg, or one has to take shelter of Bhagavan if one is following Bhakti Marg, and this way give up the both or engage both in the service. So that's what he basically explained. So he described that there are three states: Jagrat, Swapna, Susupti, wakeful, dream, dreamless state. And Jiva is distinct from all three, means whatever happens in these three states is all outside affair. But we are so much steeped involved in this outside that inside is completely forgotten. And therefore the problem. So he says, Asatvadatmanonyesham bhavanam tatkritabhida. He says these are all non-existent, and this is mrisha, swapna drishayatha, like you see dream, then you wake up. So like that, these things are outside, they don't belong to us, but at present we are implicated in them. So he continues to explain, because now his teaching is coming to an end. Sejyo jagare bahiranukshanu dharmino arthan bhunkte samasta karane hridi tat sadrikshan swapne shashupta upsangharate saekah smriti anvayat trigunavritti dragindriyesha. So again he is explaining in little more detail. So he says, Yo jagare bahir anukshana dharmino arthan bhunkte. So he spoke about the three states. Now he is describing that how we are the seer of these three states. So jagare means jagrat avastha. In the jagrat, in the wakeful state, we are experiencing the external sense objects. Bahir, arthan. So they are outside us and we are experiencing them. And all these things are anukshana dharmina, that they are temporary, they are continuously changing, nothing is stable, everything is in flux. Samasta karanai, so with all our senses we are having the experience. And hridi tat sadrikshan swapne. Then when we sleep in the dream state, we also have experience of similar things, tat sadrikshan. The type of objects which we experience in our wakeful state, we experience similar objects in our dream state. So dream is not something which you have not experienced in your wakeful state. It may be a mixture of things, like you have experience of a rabbit and you have experience of horns. So you may actually see a rabbit with a horn in your dream. So in wakeful state you may have not experienced a rabbit with a horn, you will not experience that. But in dream you can have experience. But that is new only because it's a new combination of things which you have experienced. But nothing which you have not experienced. Yes. So, therefore he says, Hridi tat sadrikshan swapne. And then sushupte upsangharate. And when you are in the dreamless state, then there is upsamhara, everything is closed. You don't experience dreams, you don't experience external things, there is no experience. So there is abhav vritti. So therefore abhav is also a vritti. Absence is also an experience. That's why in Yoga Sutra he has 5 types of vritti: praman, viparya, vikalpa, smriti, nidra. So nidra there means susupti, dreamless sleep. So that is also one type of the vritti. 5 types of vrittis he says. So that means the absence also makes a vritti in the chitta. Although there is no ahankara at that time, ahamicha supte. So all the senses are laya, the ahankara is also sleeping, but only Atma is there, Chitta is there. Chitta is above ahankara, Mahatattva. So that hangs around. So therefore it says Susupta Upsangharte. So sa eka smriti anvayat. But there is somebody who has the memory of all these 3. He is one. And he is anvayat means he is related to all 3 of them. He is not vyatireka. He is present in all 3 states. That's what anvaya means. So he is present in the deep sleep state, he is present in the dream state, he is present in the wakeful state. That's why he is different from all 3 states. And gunavritti drag indriyesha. So he is the master of the senses, indriyesha. And this gunavritti drag, he is the drashta of all these gunavritti. Earlier also he says gunavrittaya gunato buddhi vrittaya. That this buddhi vritti is because of the gunas, so he called gunavritti, senses, etc. So this was verse 32. So yukti bhir iti yuktam taeva yuktiritya. Ya khalu varthan dehadin samast karne chakshuradi bhungte katham bhutan. So earlier he had said that you have to use your yukti. Yavan nanarthadhi punso nanivarteta yukti bhi. In verse number 30, that you have to use logic to become free from this. So logic is also useful. So now he is showing the logic here. So yukti taeva yuktiri ya khalu arthan dehadin samast karnai chakshuradi bhungte. So he says one who experiences the body etc. with all the senses, such as eyes. What are those objects? Anukshana dharmina. Chanik, they are changing. Balya, tarunyadi, dharmavata. So even this body, it is undergoing the different phases of childhood, then youthful, middle age, old age. So there is somebody who is experiencing, just as you are experiencing wakeful state, in the wakeful state also the body states are changing. Yascha swapne hridhi jagara drishta sadrishan vasnamayan bhungte. And one who is having the experience in the dream state, those experiences which are similar to the wakeful state, and they are coming from the vasanas, the samskaras which are inside. They are produced from that. Like you take photographs, you go somewhere, some holiday, vacation, take photos, selfies, then later on you look at them. Right? So this is similar to what you have experienced. It's not same, but it is similar. It reminds you of that. And there is also mixture. Photos look better than when you actually see it. Isn't it? So it's similar. So yascha sushupte tan sarvan upsamharti, and all this is closed in the deep sleep, means nothing is available. Saeka, this person is only one who is having these three experiences. He is one, not three. Kutaha, why is that? He says Trigun Vritti Drik Avasthatraya Drashta. So he is the one who is witness to all the three states, or three states coming from the three gunas. Nanu jagrad avastham sarvindriyani pashyanti swapnam manah sushuptim tat sanskar shesha buddhi katham atma tadrashta tatra. So now he says that how you say that he is the one who is having this experience. We see that when we are wakeful, in our wakeful state, then our senses are experiencing. We see through the senses here. And when we are dreaming, the mind is there. And when we are in the deep sleep, the samskaras are there. So why you say that there is only one? The buddhi is there. So katham atma tad drashta. Why you say that atma is the drashta? So then he says indriyesha, because there is a master behind them. Nanu indriyesha api vishva tejas pragya bhinna eva. So he says that yes, the master of this indriyasha, which is said indriyasha in the verse, there are also three. Pragya, Tejas and Vishwa. So this is Advaita Vedanta terminology. So they say, Advaita Vedanta explains this, that when you are awake, then you are identifying with the gross body and the subtle body. That time you are called Vishwa. That is the individual living entity. And the aggregate living entity is called Vaishvanar or Virat Rupa. Virat. And when you are dreaming, then you are not identifying with the gross body, you are identifying with the subtle body. Then you are called Taijasa. And the samasti is called Hiranyagarbha. And when you are in the deep sleep, you are only identifying with the avidya, the Karan Sarira. So they speak of three bodies: Karan's causal body, subtle body, gross body. In the wakeful state you have all three. In the dream state you have two. In the deep sleep only causal body or avidya. And one who is identifying with the causal body, samasti, avidya, he is called Ishvara. He is the Paramatma. So Jiva is called Pragya. Pragya generally means intelligent person. But here it means who is completely ignorant. Prakrishtena agya pragya. Pra plus agya will also make pragya. Because you are absolutely ignorant when you are in deep sleep. So that is called pragya, and one who is identifying with the samasti avidya is called Paramatma or Ishvara. So he says, therefore there are three. Why are you saying there is only one?
Here he's telling Vishwa is one person, Taijasa is one person, and Pragya is. So Vishwa is whom Vaishvanara is, that person is identifying. So our Indriyas, he is the Isha. is Vaishvanara.
And this is Vyasti and Samasti. There is Vyasti Upadhi and Samasti Upadhi.
Because I am still getting confused. How come they are making it three? It is still one person. He is part of the Samashti. So why say there are three Indriyeshas?
Because one who is master of the subtle and gross body both, he is called Vishwa.
But Vishwa is still the same person, no?
That's
This is where
why
I
they
am
give a
getting
different.
confused. What is that?
Well, they gave three different names, so he says that there are three different names, so there are three different
people.
persons. He will say it is only one, but if you have three people, different identifications, when you are in the dream, are you same? When you are awake, you are different. When you are in deep sleep, you are different.
So basically, if I understand.
He is making that Puru Paksha, there are three people.
So basically, their understanding, there are three different kinds of upadhis. So because there are different upadhis, there are different people.
Because what is the difference between one person and another person? Both are Brahman. It's only the upadhi which is making difference, right? So then if it's make difference from one person to another person because of upadhi, why not you yourself also different because of upadhi? Ultimately all Brahman. Purushottam Prabhu.
So I'm still not clear on the corresponding. Ishvara is which state it is there?
Ishvara is Karana, Sarira.
Vishwa is the Karan. Tejas is then subtle body.
Causal body. Subtle body is Hiranyagarbha.
Causal body. Vishwa is a causal body. Tejas is a subtle body then, and Pragya is a sthul body?
No. Pragya is the causal body.
Pragya is the causal body.
Vishwa is the stool body. Stool is
And Tejas is a subtle body then.
Yeah.
Manas, and this Vishwa is of Panch Mahabhut, and Pragya is of Karan Sharir, Sanskar.
Yeah, but Vishwa includes the subtle also. It's not without subtle. Subtle plus gross plus causal is Vishwa. And causal plus subtle is Tejas. Only causal is Pragya. Simple. 1, 2, 3. Sandeep.
Nam Babaji Maharaj. So in one of the earlier commentaries, we said that wakeful, it was described that wakeful state is Sattvam, dream is Rajas, and deep sleep is Tamas. So now if we take this corresponding, like this expression in this verse, so the Paramatma is Samasti in Pragya, and it is Tamas.
Avidya, yeah. Samasti Avidya.
So why would it be in Tamas? Paramatma
Because he has the control of the whole Avidya.
But why would these states be in these Sattva? Because once you are wakeful, then there is a more possibility of you doing some Rajasic or Tamasic activity, whereas when you are in deep sleep, then you aren't doing anything. So I think should this order be reversed, that in deep sleep it's Sattva and Rajas and Tamas kind of. I am not clear how this demarcation has been done for these three states based on gunas.
No, it's very simple. Sattva means where you have proper understanding. You know things as they are. That is Sattva. When it is Rajas, it is Vikshep. There is a Brahma, there is illusion. Dream is like that. In dream you mistake things which are not there. And in the ignorance you don't know anything. So deep sleep you know nothing.
Take wisdom. Thank you.
Kamala.
Yes, Babaji. So then, in a way, in a wakeful state, we have three things: gross body, subtle body, and causal body. Means the ignorance, the avidya.
Yeah.
Then in the dreaming, we have only two: means subtle body plus avidya, and in the deep sleep only avidya.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody's experience.
Only comes. Yes, okay.
So therefore he says, Indriya Shapi Vishwa Tejas Pragya Bhinna Eva. That these Indriyas are also three, not one. You say it is one. So he says no. So now he is countering that. This is the yukti. He says logic. What is the logic? That you remember. One who is dreaming and you become awake, you remember that, right? You cannot remember which is experienced by someone else. Your experience cannot be remembered by her. So if you are remembering the dream state, then that dream guy cannot be different from this fellow. If you say that the Taijasa is different from Vishwa, then the Vishwa fellow should not remember what is experienced by Taijasa. What is experienced by one who is dreaming should not be remembered by one who is awake, if they are separate. So he says, no, they are not separate, they are one, because you remember the deep sleep also. You say, oh, I slept so nicely, oh, I dreamt. And you also remember what you are experiencing now. So therefore he says, na smritya pratisandhanena sarvavasthasu anvayat. That he is united in all three states. And we know it by smriti, by memory. So therefore they are not three separate, but only one.
United because of being
Pratisandhan
united.
means remembering. Smriti. Yoham swapnan adraksham paschat na kinchid avedisham saiva etarhi jagarmi. So he says, the person who dreamt, and later on I did not know anything, that is in the deep sleep. Same person is one who is awake now. We don't see that the one who went to deep sleep was separate, one who woke up is separate. It's not like that. Same jagarmi. Iti yata upadhi bhedeneva vishwadi vyavahara iti bhava. So therefore this designation Vishwa, Taijasa, Pragya is only because of the upadhi, the conditioning. Otherwise it's same person. It's like one person wears different dresses. So then you call him, well, he's a police guy, and he has a police dress. Then he's playing on the hockey team, then you say he's a hockey player. Then he's dancing on the floor, so he's a dancer. So dress changing, the role changing, person is same. So these are upadhis. Etat kramenaiva dehad atmane parthakyam drashtavya. So what is the conclusion of all this is that from this we should understand that Atma is distinct from the body. That's the important thing to be studied. Evam vimrishya gunto manusastra man maya mai krita iti nishitartha sanchidya harda manuman sadukti tikshna jnanasina bhajitamat akhil sanshayadhim. So he says that deliberating in this way and knowing that the three states of mind are by the gunas, gunta, manasa, strayavastha, manmaya. Mai Krita iti Nishchitartha. And these are produced by my Maya, not in reality, and they all happen within me. So iti Nishchitartha, having this conclusion, then Sanchidya Hardam Anumana Sadukti Tikshana Jnanasina. So you cut them all through Anuman, and Sadukti means the words of Shastra. The knowledge, sharp knowledge in the form of Anuman. Anuman is important, and Sadukti, the statements of the learned. So that is the sword with which you cut all these things which are situated in the heart. And bhajte maam akhil samsayadhim, and worship me, who is the basis, ground of all adhar, samskar, sansayadhim. No, he says, sanchidya akhil sansayadhim. You worship me after cutting all the doubts rooted in the ahankara. Sansayadhim. Sansayadhim goes along with sanchidya, not with mam. So tatah kim atayaha evam iti. So what is the outcome of understanding what was said in the previous sloka? He says here, Gunto ya eta manaso buddhe strayavastha tamada avidyaya mai kritane tattvata santi. So he says these three states which have been described of the buddhi, they are the products of my avidya, and they are existing in me, but they are not reality like that. Nishchita atma rupa artha yayam. So in this way you ascertain what is the truth, the reality, the atma, by anuman and sadukti, satam updesai. So by inference and by the instruction of learned people, or by the instruction of the Vedas, tikshnena jnana khadgena. So that knowledge is like a sword. So you cut that off. Hardam hirdbhavam avasthatrayami. Mam akhil samsayanam adhim pidakam naskam bhasta. So you destroy all these things, the three states which are situated in the heart, and worship me. So he is taking another meaning of akhil samsayadhim, one who is the destroyer of all doubts. So akhil samsayadhim can be applied to Bhagavan, that he is the destroyer of all the doubts, or akhil samsayadhi can all be applied to ahankar, which is the root of all doubts. Then it will go to sanchidya. So depending on how you interpret it, you can apply it to mam, or you can apply it along with sanchidya. But the ultimate thing is that using knowledge, become free from ignorance and worship Bhagavan. That is the conclusion. Then
Question: this gunata here means because of the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas.
yeah. ईक्षेत विभ्रमिदं मनसो विलासं दृष्टं विनष्टमतिलोलमलातचक्रं विज्ञानम् एकमुरुधैव विभाति माया स्वप्ने स्त्रिधा गुण विसर्ग कृतो विकल्पः. So he says you should see things that this vibhrama means this universe which is appearing with all these varieties. Brahma also means to wander, to move. So world is, earth is also moving. Right? It is running around its axis. and also running around the sun very fast. So it is Vibhrama. If you keep on going like this, after some time your head will go in Vibhrama. So this is what happening to us because we are rotating with earth. So we are full of Brahma. That's our situation being on the earth. So he says, watch it, Manaso Vilasam. It is the Vilas. Where is Vilas? So this is the Vilas of the mind. This is all the manifestation of various properties of the mind. Mind is making all these things in your head. Like when you dream is a Manaso Vilas. So you dream, earlier he said that people also dream when they are awake. Just like you are awake in the dream, like that you also dream when you are awake. So both are happening. You are awake in your dream and you are dreaming in your wakeful state. So this is the, why is it happening? Manaso Vilas. This is all manifestation of the mind. Drishtam vinashtam atilolam alata chakram. So it is all temporary and it is like atilola alata chakram. Alata chakra is like when you tie firebrand. Call it firebrand or firebrand. So you have a big rope and tie some burning at the end of the rope and rotate it. So when you rotate it, it looks continuous, but it is not continuous. It's running. Just like this table looks solid to us, it is not solid, it's electrons running up and down. But it looks solid. Just like you have the fan. Now modern example is fan. When it is at high speed, you see the fins everywhere. But they are not everywhere. But they appear like that. So this is the Vibhrama. Like that we are seeing things here also in the material world. It's all actually atoms, electrons, protons, neutrons, here, there. There is nothing more than that. Have an electron drishti. Then you will realize that there is nothing. What you get angry, you get upset, so many things happen. So Vijñānam ekam hrudaya vibhati. It is all the consciousness of Bhagwan which is manifest in all these ways. Maya swapna stridha guna visarga krito vikalpa. So it is Maya of Bhagwan manifest in three ways because of the products of the gunas which are giving us the variety. So very interesting. Prakriti is only one. Then it has got three gunas. Then they mix together and so much variety comes. It's very amazing. So much variety from that. Mind comes, intelligence comes. है कुछ नहीं. एवं अवस्थात्रयात् निस्संबंधस्य आत्मने पार्थक्यम् अनुभूय पूर्वयद अहंतास्पदं ममतास्पदीभूतं वस्तु आसीत् तदिदं जगत् विभ्रम विशिष्टो भ्रमो यत्र तथा भूतम् ईक्षेते. So he says, in this way, after understanding that Atma is separate from all these three states, there is no relationship of Atma with them. So having understanding of this, and then you realize that whatever you are calling as I and my body, my house, my this. So he says, understand that Vastu Asit Tat Jagat Vibhram, that is all Brahma. It's only very special illusion to think like that. Vibhrama means Vishesh Brahma. So Brahmti Vame Mana, Arjuna said, My mind is reeling. So this is what is happening. So you should see in this way. Koti koti janmsu tatra brahmadeva ahanta mamtayor aropit charatvat. So he says in millions and millions of births, because of this illusion, I am just superimposing things onto myself and myself onto things. So that's what I have been doing. Manaso vilasam kautukaspadam. So he says this is the play of the mind. It's the mind game. Manaso vishishto laso nrityam. Now this is interesting. He says this is the dance of the mind. Lasa. Very beautiful, Vishesa Lasa. Very beautiful dance of the mind. So the word Lasa also means dance. Because in Sanskrit, Raliyor, Daliyor, Akyam. R, L and D, they can be exchanged. So if you have Lasa, you change La with D, it becomes Das, dance. Right? So this is the dance of the mind. So Vilas means beautiful dance. So that's what it says. So laso nrityam yatra taditiva. Vinashtam anityam. But it is anitya, it is temporary, it doesn't last all the time. Tatrapi alat chakravat atilolam. And that also it is moving, not only temporary but also not stable in one place. Because something is temporary, stable, it is also not that. Nanu tarhi evam bhuta dvaita darshanat nirbhed brahma anubhavo no upapadyate. So he says if you are explaining like this, then there is a dvaita, there is a duality. Because I am there and I am seeing this dance of the mind. So where is the unity in this? So he says, don't worry, unity is also there. Tatraha vijnanam ekam yad brahma tadeva urdhaya. He says it's only one Brahman, sarvam khalu idam Brahma. That one Brahman is manifest in all these ways. So no problem about Advaitvad. You can also have Brahman. Nanu natu paramarthata. It is not, the variety is not real. Urudha yato maya eva tridha gunu visarkrito vikalpa swapna vadasya. So he says it is by maya that it takes three different types of forms and then so much of variety comes. Otherwise it's just like dream, unstable, not fixed.
Rajananda is asking, how does the sadhaka know that he has attained the end of the doubts
End
in
of
order
what?
to engage?
End of what?
The end of the doubts, in order to engage in the worship of Bhagavan.
You know, if you understand doubt, then you know when you don't have doubt. Doubt means when you don't know whether to do this or to do that. So if you are having these ideas, you still have doubt. If you don't have that, then you don't have doubt. It's simple. If you are unable to decide, that is done because of doubt. Whether I should listen to the class or go out, right? So if you are able to decide, you have no doubt. Drishtim tataha pratinivarta nivritta tushnim trishna tushnim bhaved nisukhan nubhavo niriha sandrishyate kvacha yadidam avastu buddhya tyaktam brahmayana bhavet smritirani patat. So now he is describing in the next 3 slokas how a person who has understood this, who has extricated himself from this vibhrama, how does that person behave? He is describing that. So he says, drishtim tatah pratinivartya. He says, you take away your drishti, your vision, your sight from all these things. Means you make yourself aloof. Nivritta trishna. Give up all your desires, because now you don't have any desires. So tushnim bhavet, you become silent. Nissukhanu bhavo nirubha, and you become situated only in your own happiness. And niriha means no actions outside. And sandrishyate kvacha yadidam avastu buddhya. But still you have to deal with the world, something you have to do. He says, now you deal knowing that this is not a vastu, it is not real. It is all made of maya. So you deal with that like that. Yadidam avastu buddhya tyaktam brahmaya na bhavet smriti anipat. And then you have given up all these things, and now he says na bhavet smriti anipat. So till the time you have to live in this body, then you will remain free from the attachment to these things. Brahmaya na bhavet. You may remember them, but these things will not be the cause of your delusion, entanglement. So that is how the person acts. Purushottam Prabhu.
I didn't get the meaning for Uradha.
Urudha means many types, variety.
Uradha means what? Variety.
Dha is a pratyaya in prakararth dha. Yasmadevam tasmat tato drishyat drishtim pratinivartya tasmin nivritta tushna trishna tushnim cha bhavet. So he says, because the reality is like this, the way it has been explained, so therefore you should pull back your sight from all these objects and become free from all desires and silent. Mano vag vyapara rahita ityartha. So don't do anything with your mind or with your speech. Chitta vritti nirodha. Tatra samarthyamaha. He says, how is it possible? So he says, nij sukha anubhavaiti, because you experience the happiness within. People are very much afraid to be alone. He is saying, be alone, but not lonely. There is a difference in being alone and being lonely. So, aratir jana sansadi. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, when he is talking about what is jnana, etas jnanam iti prokta, ajnanam tadeto annatha. So this is also part of knowledge, arati jana sansadi, not having attraction for crowd, for people, being with yourself. Ato niriha kayik vyapar rahitas. So first he said, become free from the activities of mind and speech, and niriha means become free from the activities of the body also. So this is basically Gyan Marg is like that. Nanu dehavata sarvatha dvaita drishti prativartan ayogat punah sansara syadeva. So he says, as long as we have the body, you cannot have complete advaita drishti. You have to have some dvaita, at least you need to eat, you feel hungry. So if you feel hungry, you have to think, I am hungry and this is food. So there is dvaita. I am the person who is going to eat, this will be eaten. So as long as you have the body, you cannot have absolute advaitavad. So if you don't have, then you will again fall into the samsara. So how to avoid that? So he says, no, sandrishyateti. Kvachid avyas, what is it? Avashya. अवश्य आहारादिषु यद्यपि इदं सन्दृश्यते तथापि पूर्वम अवस्तु बुद्ध्या यत्यक्तं तत्पुनर्मोहाय न भवेदेव. So he says certain things you will need, like food is necessary, sleep is necessary, some cloth is also necessary in the cold at least. So then he says, now because you understand that this is not reality, so this will not be the cause of bondage or delusion, it will not disturb you, because you have already decided that this is a vastu. Kvachid no, punarmoha na bhav kintu dehapata paryanta smritiriva smriti sanskar matrana bhaso bhavet. So as long as you have the body, you will have the samskaras of these things, but you will not become entangled in them. As if you have this type of vision, this type of understanding. Now he describes when one becomes perfected in this type of drishti, advaita drishti, what will happen? Says deham cha naswaram avasthitam utthitam va siddho na pashyati yato adhyagamat swarupam devadapetam utadeva vashadapetam vaso yatha parikritam madira madandaha. So he says one who becomes a siddha, perfected being, then deham cha naswaram avasthitam utthitam va siddho na pashyati. So then he does not see the body, whether the body is sitting or body is standing, this temporary body, but he has to still remain in the body as long as the prarabdha is there, cannot become free from that. So yato adhyagamat swarupam. So why is that he is not seeing the activities of the body? Because he has understood his own swarupa. So he is not identifying with them anymore. And devadapetam utadeva vasadopetam vaso. He says even if he is having dress on his body, he is not aware whether the dress is there or it has fallen down. Like Sukadeva Goswami, Savdhut Baba. He says his state is like that person who is Madira Madandha. Somebody who has what you call highly intoxicated and is having a blackout. They call it blackout. So he is completely finished. So then that person does not know where he is. He can fall down, he can stand up. His cloth can fall down, remain. He is not aware of his body. He loses touch with the body. So this person is also like that. So now one may say that if we have to attain this state, why not we just have drink? Why make this big effort to reach this state and become like a drunkard? So the difference is that adhyagamat swarupam, that this person is, he understands his swarupa, the drunkard does not. And drunkard will come out of this state and he has to spend money again. This person is free, freely intoxicated. Doesn't cost. So this is the state of a Siddha Purusha. So Gyan Siddhasya Jivan Muktasya Dasamaha. But again remember, this is the path of Gyan Marga, it is not for us. So just listen. Don't attempt anything like this. So he says, this is the state of a person who has become Jivan Mukta. Dehamiti Dvabhyam, it is described in 2 verses. Asnad utthitam utthaya punastatreva sthitam na pashyati na anusandhate. So whether he is sitting on his chair or he is not sitting, whether he got up and then sat down again, he is not aware of this. Whether he is eaten or not eaten, he actually cannot function like that anymore. Yata swarupam brahmanubhavam adhyagamat prapta. because he has attained the experience of Brahman. So he is just relishing that. Atra drishtanta, this can be understood from an example. Devadapetam kenchid niskashanad apagatam kenachit paridhanadupetam vasa parikritam parihitam madira madandho nanusandhatte. So he gives the example of person who is totally drunk, so then he is not aware whether his cloth has fallen down or he is still dressed. He loses the awareness for that. And then one more sloka describes that state. Dehopi deva vasga khalu karma yavat swarambhakam prati samikshate eva sasuhu tam saprapanchamadhiruda samadhi yoga swapnam punarna bhajate prati buddha vastuhu. So how long he remains in this? He says as long as his prarabdha karma is there. Swarambhaka karma yavat khalu deva vasga dehopi prati samikshate. So he remains alive, continues to live as long as his prarabdha karma is there by the will of the providence. Along with his life here he continues. Tam saprapancham adhiruda samadhi yoga swapnam. So being situated in this adhiruda yoga, he does not again fall back into this prapancha, which is like a dream. Swapnam punarna bhajte prati buddha vastu. So just like a person who was dreaming, and in the dream he saw many nice things, then when he wakes up, he does not hanker to have those things again, because he understands that this was just a dream. So similarly, this person wakes up. That's why they are called enlightened being. So they get the understanding experience of the Brahman. And then they do not desire again to fall back into this dream-like universe. Become free from that. So that is their state. So yavat swarambhakam karma tavat sasu saprana san prati samikshate. As long as his prarabdha karma is there, that long he continues to live with his life here. Muktasya pitasya karma bhoga pratiksham kurvan jivet ityartha. Although he has become jivan mukta, but still he has not attained the atyantik mukti, the ultimate liberation. So as long as his karma remains, he waits for that, then his body falls down. Nanu tarhi tasmin kadachit asajjadapi tatrana. So he says, if he is living in this material world, then is there any possibility that he can again become bound by it? So he says no. Because just like pratibuddha vastu. So that does not happen. Tam deham saprapancham. So this body as well as the material world along with it, indriya visha bhogadi sahitam api na bhaste. He does not become attracted to any of these things, his own body as well as the sense objects. Yatha, the example, yatha pratibuddha vastuhu prapta jagaro janah swapnam deham punarna bhaste. So he said, just like a person who has become awake from the dream, then he does not again attain the dream body or objects which he has experienced in the dream. He remains free from that. So we'll stop here if there is any more questions.
Babaji, this last verse, comparing the avastha of this person who has become Jivan Mukta and comparing the avastha of a person who is situated on a bhav, are they same? Like, I mean, he is also like free of his prior, he is karma nivritta, just the body remains. Is it like that? Because here also he is saying that he waits for the body, which is because of his prarabdha karma. So some ansha of karma is still there in Jivan Mukta stage, though there is no chance of going back into the material entanglement. So is this the same stage as of bhava
Why
for
same?
bhaktas? In the sense, same in the sense of being free of karma.
Yeah, but he has prarabdha karma and devotee does not have prarabdha karma.
So devotee is free of prarabdha karma.
Yeah.
Then actually this discussion was going on with some devotee here only, because a few days back, I mean, he told that because prarabdha karma is there, the body is there. So we cannot say that prarabdha karma is gone.
That is not for devotees. Devotees are not under the law of karma when they take shelter of Krishna. So they are under his guidance.
They are under the antaranga shakti even when staying in the material body, panchabhut.
Yeah. Okay. So some